terms of the fossils themselves, we start with fossils. I'm not too interested in the earliest of fossils, but let's start with the primates living around 10 million years ago, about the split from apes. We at one time were probably part of the same population as chimpanzees, but because of geological event of Africa stubbing its toe on Europe and having Africa raise up and dry out, and that big crack in Vide Gorge forming, separating out humans on the east of Africa from chimpanzees to the west. And that seems to coincide, these two events. And for a while we thought that the event separating us from chimpanzees occurred about 5 million years ago, now maybe a little longer. Due to recent research up in the Department of Genetics, we have discovered that mutations occur a lot slower than we thought in humans. And as a matter of fact, if we look at the time that it takes for mutations to accumulate, it's about twice the time we thought. So that geological event occurred about 10 million years ago. As it turns out now, that is closer to the time when we separated from chimpanzees, so it looks much better than, things coincide better than we even thought before. So we go through a series of stages, and first we don't know whether or not we are dealing with a chimpanzee or a human or some combination of the earliest fossils. By the time we get to about 5 million years ago, it's clear that we have individuals that are probably bipedal part of the time, if not all the time. Think of the bonobo chimpanzees who can walk easily, can walk for distances. We now have a movie of a bonobo female carrying a child in one arm and dragging a branch in the other and just walking across the field. It's not impossible. Why we became obligatorily bipedal is another question. My basic hypothesis is that as the forest shrank and grass grew and forest became concentrated in small areas, that in order to stay as chimpanzee as possible, remember evolution is very often conservative. Conservatives may not like evolution, but evolution is conservative. That they went from copse of trees to copse of trees, trying to stay chimpanzee, but eventually that just failed because there weren't enough copse of trees, so the distance was too great. Eventually we started picking up meat because of the need for energy, and that changes things. And that occurs probably somewhere about 3.5 million years ago. We have the first mark on a bone is 3.4 million years ago. First butchering mark on a bone. We don't have the tools because the tools were probably so rudimentary. All you have to do is pick up a pebble and knock a few flakes off, and you have something that you can actually skin a gazelle with, as Louis Leakey demonstrated a number of times. 15 minutes to skin a gazelle, but you have to be really good at it. Do it that fast. Rabbits take longer. So slowly we have this creature that is upright, bipedal. Given the Laetoli footprints, we may even have family structures as early as 3.2 million years ago. Man, woman, child, maybe child on the way, maybe child being carried, and trying to get away from a volcanic eruption that may or may not have killed them. They left the footprints. By about 1.75 million years ago, we have individuals that are very mobile, that are Homo erectus, that are using tools on a regular basis, using pretty sophisticated tools on a regular basis, and get out of Africa. This is the first wave, and Africa is home. matter how we look at it, Africa is home. We came from Africa. We developed in Africa originally, and modern humans, as we will see, developed in Africa and spread out and displaced the populations that had previously left Africa. Neanderthal in Europe, sort of a late Homo erectus or Neanderthal-like individual in Asia, and then we populated the whole world eventually. Language comes in later, we think, don't know. Homo erectus is different in that Homo erectus spreads all over the tropical old world and gets into cold areas in Europe and in China. In both areas, there's fire. Now, fire may have originated in Africa as early as a billion years ago. The evidence is not quite as clear, but certainly about 400,000 years ago, we have evidence of fire in Germany because we have fire-hardened spears that we have found. Very easy way to sharpen a spear, stick it in the fire and let the fire burn and then sort of scrape off the carbon. And we have evidence of fire in China 400,000 years ago, where the bones are cooked. The rhino bones are cooked, the deer bones are cooked, and the human bones are cooked. And that is an old practice that is common all over the world. Cannibalism is the first evidence for that. Okay, does that summarize the course? Have we gotten up to the point where we're almost human, almost modern? We're human, but not quite. Any questions? In your studies, if you run across questions, send me an email.